Well, I'll start with Razorclaw. So Razorclaw dropped us a super saying, so, a new Bellular channel coming for FF14 content. How many channels will you guys make? And that is a good question, and actually it's a chat we've been having internally.
It definitely is.
It's like, so, okay, put it this way. On the WoW channel, I've got a month of content scoped out, and we're all the boys are working super hard. Let's just say John has been having a lot of fun bringing Gallywix's big cannon into Blender and doing custom shots.
That looks so cool.
Our guys are so good. It's so, yeah. So, for the WoW stuff, basically in my head, you know, the way that I play WoW is like, this time, I mean, I'm getting curve, obviously. I mean, curve rating is what I do. That was always the thing that I looked up to, you know, in the game, right? You know, like listening to Blue Please, being like, oh, like Total Biscuit's doing his thing. He's going through Syndra Ghost, and then at the same time, I was, you know, in my guild. That's just what I did, you know? And I always have a bit of a chip in my shoulder with that because when my guild killed Arthas, I was on holidays in a motorhome with my parents. And I tried to attend those raids using a 3G dongle. Didn't work. So I was very sad about that. So it's that sort of thing. That's the way that I play the game. So there'll always be content sort of in and around that stuff. And then, you know, if Blizzard decides to do, you know, more things like Dasachrome and just, you know, other like fun bits in the game, there'll be more stuff for me to do there. But like it's the lore and the setting and all of that stuff that I love the most. And we have just, there's fun coming there. As for a new channel, I want to just do an FF14 channel because, you know, I don't have the credibility in FF14. Now, I think people are interested in what a WoW player thinks of FF14 as they play. And it's been frustrating. I've not really got to play FF14 in like way too long because, funny enough, I've been playing World of Warcraft instead because of raid and getting ready and stuff and IRL bullshit. But I very much plan. It's kind of weird. Like, I want to do all MSQ up to Shadowbringers and kind of like do check-in videos, right? Once I hit certain breakpoints, certain, you know, milestones, I guess. There's just so much, right? But it's not really the sort of thing where a channel makes a lot of sense for FF14. To be honest, what I'd like to do, especially after Asmongold and Rich convinced me on New World, funny enough, yeah. I'm really thinking, is there a way we could do a general MMO channel? You know, is there a way we could do that? I'm not that sure because it's the sort of thing, you know, we only have so much time. And I don't want to overcommit, right? I don't want to overcommit and then not be able to do things justice. So, put it this way. There's a chance we'll probably rename Bellular Gaming to Bellular Warcraft.
Almost certainly in the future.
And there could be a more general channel. I mean, just as an example, like here's an issue that I've been thinking through. What happens if I want to stream some FF14, stream some New World? Like, if I do that in the Warcraft channel, it's in a way not fair to the Warcraft channel people because they've subscribed for World of Warcraft content. And if I start sending them, you know, because whenever you get a notification, like, that is an ask. That is a disruption to somebody's day that, right, you've beeped their phone. Yep. So I don't want to be giving people low-quality phone beeps, right? So, you know, maybe another channel, maybe, you know, it wouldn't be the biggest channel in the universe, or anything like that. It would just be like, I guess, a fun place to do some other things. That could exist. I just don't want to make any big commitments before I'm, you know, 100% sure we could follow through because it's mean, right? If you don't hit people's expectations good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest concern I have, where we're definitely somewhat over-leveraged at the moment, trying to get everything we're currently doing up to fruition because of so many plans and, like, with so many plans on the existing, like, sphere of things, that actually pushing into other things would just be, you know, would it detract from other things? Would it end up kind of ruining all of our plans that are, you know, very, you know, Patreon focused? Because I don't want to shit on those because we feel like doing something else, if you know what I mean. So it's striking the balance of doing what people actually want, doing what we want, and where the best experience for everyone coalesces in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
I think that's the important part.
And then there's the other bit of, like, you know, on game dev, right? Like, on the game dev front, I want there to be a lot of content there. Because, look, I remember the first time, like, I learned how to use Unity Timeline and started messing around with stuff, you know? I gray boxed out our version of the Hyperion from StarCraft 2. Like, it was very different, but it was like making like a little hub area for monsters, which unfortunately is cancelled. But like, just I love that shit. And I look at now there's criticisms to make of Star Citizen, obviously, but I love watching their updates because they're just jumping in with devs. Devs are taking you through like, hey, here's our fucking Nebula technology we've made in engine, and I love that shit. And I really want to do a channel on that with Thomas. I want to do a podcast. I think Thomas wants to do it as well, like a podcast, or maybe a live show podcast, something like that. For game dev, because it's like the one thing right now we can't share. I think that people who've watched AllCraft basically know why. We're not self-publishing. Put one and together, right?
What could that mean?
What could it possibly mean? So soon enough we'll be able to fully unleash what we're doing. But it's that thing where we feel quite production capped. Like honestly, I would need to hire a producer. And just one or two other roles, and it's just one of those things where can we afford it while being responsible? It's just that sort of thing. I mean, put it this way, like the way that I run the company is such that we have a war chest for a rainy day, right? Because you'd never want to be running so that you get 60% revenue one month and suddenly you can't afford payroll. Like, obviously not, but it's the sort of thing where I don't want to overcommit and, overspend and just, those companies, they go too fast and they implode.
Yeah.
And then also it's like I need to improve myself as a person and, be more competent and things like that before I even do those big ambitious things. So, yeah, certainly a lot to talk around with that point. I'd say expect a bunch of content. I just can't commit exactly on what it's going to be and look like.